Ryan is a super talented fighter, but IQ-wise, he only knows but few things. Like, he's always gonna resort back to that hook. And if Barrios comes into the right game plan, with the right game plan, it's gonna be the same. If somebody has a game plan for the hook, he's gonna get beat.
Pros are locking in their final picks for Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios, and the verdicts are all over the map.
Just depends what Garcia rocks up. He was on superb against Haney, and then against Rollies, he looked like a C, D level fighter. But look, I'm sure we'll see this weekend what Ryan rocks up. There's a lot on the line, you know, with his for the title. We'll open some massive doors for him also. But yeah, look, Barrios is a champion for a reason. He's a good fighter, and given Garcia shows up, it should be a whitewash.
Teddy Atlas looks at this matchup through a psychological lens more than a tactical one. The physical traits, he says, are obvious. Garcia is younger, faster-handed, and carries explosive power that can flip a fight in seconds. If it were simply about speed and athletic upside, Atlas would naturally lean toward the challenger. But Atlas believes the fight turns on something harder to measure: mindset. He's blunt that no one truly knows which version of Garcia will show up. Still, he notes the buildup has been quieter than in past fights, with fewer distractions and less noise. And to Atlas, that silence is an encouraging sign, suggesting a fighter who may be taking the moment more seriously.
Which Ryan Garcia is going to show up? Does he even know? You know, I think that's what it comes down to. I always say, I've said it for years, 75% of this business is mental. With Ryan Garcia, it might be 95%. I mean, he's not used up physically. He's still young. He's fine physically. He's got the speed advantage. He's got the power advantage. He's more quick twitch. He's more, he's more explosive. He's the more explosive fighter here. He's got that real good kind of left hook. He throws it to the head or the body. He's a talented, athletic fighter who is not consistent. He's not consistent because mentally, you don't know where he's at in the last couple of years of his life, in his boxing life. We just don't know where he's at, and it's all about that. If you think he's in the right place, then I think at this point in Barrios' career, Garcia being younger, Garcia being, as I said, just faster with his hands, a little more explosive, obviously, I think that you favor Garcia the way the bookmakers are. But again, the X factor here, the big if, and it's a big if, it's the elephant in the room. Is he okay mentally? Where is he at? You got to hey, it's gambling. You got to take a gamble. You got to guess. Is he right mentally? I think that the best I can say as a forecast and a guess for that, Bud, would be it's been quiet on the Western Front.
Atlas says the quieter buildup could signal that Garcia is settled and truly focused, but he admits picking Ryan still requires a leap of faith. Barrios, by contrast, is certainty. You know exactly what kind of temperament, toughness, and effort he brings. In the end, Atlas leans cautiously toward the belief that Garcia will have himself together when it matters most.
And if I'm going to go with that, I'm going to say I favor Garcia. Barrios, where you got to favor Barrios is this. You know what you're going to get. Garcia, because of what I just brought up, you don't know for sure what you're going to get. You know what you hope to get. You know what you used to get. You know what you've gotten at times. But you don't know for sure what you're going to get. Barrios, consistent, steady guy, going to throw punches. His punch number is always going to be good. He's got that long jab. He's going to use that jab. He's technically sound. He's going to use that jab, to set everything up. He can fight on the outside. He likes to be aggressive. At some point, he'll try to come in behind that jab. He likes to go to the body. He can fight inside or outside, as I just mentioned. You got a experienced former champion in different weight classes that will show up to give his all 100%. He'll leave it in the ring, and you know what he brings. A full effort.
Jeff Mayweather sees the matchup through a colder lens, questioning whether Garcia is as dangerous as one breakout performance once made him look. That April 2024 night against Devin Haney seemed to skyrocket Ryan's stock, but the aftermath complicated everything. Garcia later tested positive for Ostarine. The result was changed to a no contest, and he received a year-long suspension from the New York State Athletic Commission. Since then, Mayweather says, Garcia hasn't looked like the same fighter. His return at 147 ended in a unanimous decision loss to Rolando Romero in May, a fight in which Garcia was also dropped in the second round. For Jeff, that raised real doubts about where Ryan is now. He acknowledges both men carry knockout power, so an early finish is possible on either side. But with Garcia's recent inconsistency and the lingering shadow of the failed test, Mayweather leans toward the defending champion, Mario Barrios.
I think that it should be an entertaining fight, depending on which Ryan Garcia shows up, because you never know which one's going to be in the ring on that night. And Barrios is a very, very good fighter as well. So I think that it has potential to be a great fight, but you never know.
What do you think that Barrios does well that people underestimate?
Well, Barrios is a very good fighter, smart, good boxer, and he got decent punching power too. So I mean, he has a great chance of winning.
So if Barrios does win, what's the path to victory?
Well, if Barrios wins, I mean, there's other big names. I mean, there's a lot of big names out there right now with a lot of these young fighters, and so, I mean, to continue on this path by continuing to fight bigger names.
If Ryan wins, though, what will be the reason? Would you say speed, power, timing, or IQ?
I think speed, power. Ryan's a great fighter when he seems to be all together. But in all honesty, he shouldn't be fighting for a world title again. He just lost, and now he's fighting for a world title.
Robert Garcia calls this fight a mystery more than a clean pick. He warns against dismissing Mario Barrios, noting that taking a belt from a champion is never straightforward. Barrios doesn't always dominate headlines, but he's consistently difficult to break down. At the same time, Robert admits forecasting Ryan Garcia is almost impossible. For him, everything hinges on which version of the challenger walks out of camp. If Garcia shows up disciplined, sharp, and mentally steady, Robert sees real knockout potential, rare hand speed, and power that can change the fight with one clean connection. But the confidence comes with hesitation. Ryan's recent outings have swung from brilliance to mediocrity, leaving analysts unsure which version will appear when the lights hit.
So we don't know what we're going to see with Ryan. I hope to, I like Ryan. He's a great dude, Southern California, great kid, great. But having to be with three of the top trainers and not being able to train with neither of them, and now going back to his dad. I don't know, there's questions there, is that going to work? Is he doing it because he doesn't want to work harder? He wants to call the shots and his dad's going to do whatever he wants? We don't know. I don't know. If it was his dad, he would stay with him his whole career and never hired anybody else. Maybe when he hired Eddie or Goosen or Derek James, maybe it's because he knew his dad wasn't capable of, or else he wouldn't have hired anybody else. He would stay with his dad since day one. But at the end, we'll see. When they fight on the 21st, February 21st, we'll see. If it works, then good for them, man. They're great people. I'm telling you. They've been to my gym. The dad, nothing but respect for him. Ryan's always showing me respect. So deep inside, I'm cheering for him to become champion.
Another layer of intrigue is Garcia's training path. Over the years, he's worked with high-profile coaches like Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James, names that carry real respect across the sport. Lately, though, Garcia has returned to training under his father. Robert Garcia questions what that choice really signals. Is it stability and grounding, or comfort and familiarity at a time when elite camps demand discomfort? High-level preparation is punishing, mentally and physically, and the environment matters. A familiar setting can either sharpen focus or soften the edge needed at championship level. Adding to the chess match is the Goosen connection on the other side. Goosen previously trained Garcia, giving him first-hand knowledge of Ryan's habits, how he reacts under pressure, and where technical flaws tend to appear when the pace and stakes rise.
Boxing would need him to become champion to keep boxing huge the way it is.
And from what I heard, if I recall correctly, Barrios is working with Goosen.
Yes, Barrios is working with Goosen, and that could favor Barrios a lot because Goosen knows Ryan. So it's interesting. If Ryan lands, he's so fast and so strong that if he lands, he's going to hurt him and finish him and become champion and all the love for him and credit for him. But if he doesn't and if Barrios fights smart, Goosen knows, takes it to the later rounds, Ryan might be in trouble. It's going to be an interesting fight.
Timothy Bradley pushes the analysis beyond the fighters and into the corners. He believes Joe Goosen's presence beside Barrios could quietly shape the outcome. Having coached Garcia before, Goosen understands subtle tendencies the public may never notice, habits that surface only under stress. Bradley frames the fight as a layered chess match built on personal history and strategic nuance. If Barrios has inside knowledge of how Garcia responds to adversity, Bradley says he can anticipate key moments instead of simply reacting to them.
I think, again, let's go back to the trainer. I think it's going to favor Barrios, the fact that he knows that his trainer knows Garcia. It is going to favor him. He's going to know, the approach, on how to get to Ryan Garcia. He's seen him in sparring, for a couple of years. He's worked a couple of Ryan Garcia's fights in Goosen. So, that's going to be very beneficial because he has inside information on Ryan.
That's it for today. Stay tuned. See you next time.